All right, second graders, we're going to talk again about text and graphic features. Now, you have already learned about this in class, so this should just be kind of a review. Let's go ahead and talk about what they are. Right here, I'm going to talk about a National Geographic book, and right here it shows you the title page. You can see that the title of this story is Deadliest Animals, and it shows us a deadly animal. The next thing that we talk about is the table of contents. In the table of contents, it's going to give you some page numbers, and it's going to tell you some things that you can find on those page numbers, like scary snakes. Scary snakes is on page 20. I could go to page 20 and I would be able to read all about scary snakes. Next we have our saltwater crocodiles, and that is a heading. That text and graphic feature that I'm talking about now is a heading. This whole page is going to be about saltwater crocodiles. On the next one, we have a hippo picture, but we've got some writing that's right next to that picture. And I know some of you know, think in your head, when there's writing in a box that's talking about a picture, what is that called? That's right, it's a caption. A caption tells you about an illustration or a photo and lets you know what's going on in that picture. If we go to the next one, it shows us a picture of a hippo, not an illustration, but a photograph. Sometimes in nonfiction books we have photographs rather than drawings. And that is a photograph, and you guys can point those out pretty easy. If we look at this next one, it's a picture of a scorpion, but it's not only a picture. When it's got a label on it, it becomes a diagram, and it is pointing to something there. I want you to read that label to yourself, and what does it say? That is a label, and it is telling you the part of the scorpion. On our next one, we've got our glossary. Now, we talked about a glossary and how if you don't know some of those important words in this story, you're always able to go to the back if it has a glossary and figure out what it means. It looks like this glossary even shows you a picture of that word. How helpful can that be to you if you don't know a word? I think that would be pretty awesome to use. On our next page, it shows us one of those key words. And the key word on here is a bold word. This bold word lets you know that this word is very important. It's a special word. It's going to be very important to this page. They could also be highlighted. They could also be in that fancy writing called italics. It just lets you know these words are really important. On the next part, we have a map. Now, not all nonfiction books have a map in them, but this one just happens to have a map, and it shows you the earth, and it even labels it on there for you. But that I just wanted to show you is a map, and it's showing you a map of the earth. The next one I wanted to show you is another diagram, but this one is got a lot more to it than our scorpion one did. This diagram is of the planets, and it shows you each planet, but then it also labels each planet to let you know which one is which. In a diagram, it's not just pictures. It also lets you know, hey, this one right here, this is Saturn. And it's got a label on it that says Saturn. If it didn't have that label, it would just be in either an illustration or a photograph. But since it does have that label, it becomes a diagram. Now, second graders, you have learned so much about nonfiction books and their text and graphic features. Those nonfiction books, a lot of times, have these things that help you figure out what is going on in the story, and it's the pictures, it's the captions, the table of contents. So what I want you to do next is I want you to click on the link that takes you to BrainPop, and I want you to watch that video of nonfiction books. After you listen to Annie and Moby talk about nonfiction books, I want you to just scroll down and you can take the quiz to see how you do. After you take the quiz, if there's still time left, go ahead and click on